Hey everybody! All right, we're back with another episode, and we got a lot of stuff to go over today. Going to be really exciting. The first thing we're going to do is something we may have wanted to take care of a little bit earlier, but hey, better late than never. We're going to learn how to kind of navigate around the program, how to navigate around Autodesk and the computer, in ways that'll just kind of make things easier on us, make things more user friendly, quicker, less frustrating. So, as you know, if you've used a computer, the applications that we use are kind of organized into windows, and we can open and close them, right? So you can open and close them, but you can also minimize them and or change their size. I'm sure most people are familiar with doing that. What you might not know though is that your part file right here, it also is a window, right? So you can make it smaller, right? You can change the size of it. You can minimize it like this, right? Let's get rid of that. And you can pop it open again. You can go home, right? There you go. We can make that, we can put that to full screen. So you can switch back and forth. Speaking of this home button, whenever you start the program up, make sure that you're working in your project. If you don't have a project, you might want to watch a previous video where I taught you how to make that project. Call me over to help you make a project folder. This will just help keep everything organized. Now, it won't let you change projects like once you've already started on a part. So make sure to do that at the beginning of your work session. Okay, so the other thing that's extremely important is saving. So in order to save, you want to go right up here to File and then choose either Save or Save As. The first time you save, it will always be a Save As, even if you click Save. So you want to make sure that you see your folder here. If you don't see it over, again, don't save in somebody else's folder. Otherwise, your file is going to get lost, right? Also, don't save it as a name of like part 2. Type in a name. So let's say sculpture 2. I'm gonna say sculpture 2.0. Why not? And I'm in my folder. If it's not in your folder, go to the documents, then go to Inventor, then go to your folder, then you can save it. Okay, so a couple more things that will help you navigate around the program and use it more effectively. One is you should make friends with your scroll wheel. So right here, this thing is the scroll wheel, and you can zoom in and out with it. If you click that wheel, you can pan around. So you can, or not pan around, you can move the object around the screen. If you click it and you hold shift at the same time, then you can rotate the object. Pretty cool. Sometimes you get stuck in rotation mode if you do it enough, in which case you can just hit escape. Escape is your friend. Whenever something seems weird, hit escape a couple times and you can get back to it. The other thing I wanted to show you is called the browser. This is a record of whatever you've done with your part. So it keeps track of everything. So if you look at your part and you see that you have a really extensive record, like you have a bunch of sketches, a lot of people, like when they want to do something, they just end up starting a lot of sketches over and over again, and then things get kind of disorganized. So using your browser is a way to kind of head that off. Just get used to looking at it now. Everything you do should be recorded. Like for instance, when I made this part, hopefully we're getting pretty familiar with this one now. You can see the original sketch, the 1-inch square that started it, right? And then I extruded it to become the cube. Extrusion 2 was where I cut in my first hole. There's the 0.7 by 0.7 inch square that generated it, and so on and so on. All right, so there's your browser. If you don't see your browser, you can go to View, User Interface, and you can check that, turn it on and off. That's also how you can get stuff like the View Cube. You can make the View Cube go away if you want to. Okay, so what else are we going to do? So first thing I'm going to do is try to make another cool sculpture or a better sculpture than last time. And then I will show you how to do some of the different line types that we're going to learn about in engineering. So first things first, 3D model. I'm going to go to the 3D model tab since I want to do stuff to a 3D model already and not a sketch. And let's do a rectangular pattern. Now, first I'm going to select the features I want. And I'm going to select them right from the browser. So I want all these extrusions, and I am going to choose my direction right here. I'm actually going to make this multi-directional, and I'm going to have 3 of them appear, and we'll click OK. So I have this sort of like, I don't know, totem pole or cinder block looking thing. Next thing, I think I'm going to do a circular pattern. I'm just kind of making it up as we go here. Let's do a circular pattern. Again, we'll grab everything. We'll grab the rectangular pattern and we'll flip it around that axis right there. And let's just do 4 of those so we get like kind of a big square like that. Now let's do kind of some crazy circular pattern like we've been doing and see how it looks. Let's try a circular pattern. Features, we'll grab maybe if I just do that. Yeah, okay, good. That highlighted everything. Let's try some axes out. Let's see if I rotate around that one. How will that look? That looks a little bit too busy. Let's try 5. That will probably look good. Let's see what it looks like. Now it's actually causing it to wait. It's got to process some data. This is why 3D modeling software uses a lot of power on your computer, is doing complex operations like that, running the graphics card a lot. So it requires some computing power for sure. All right, so there we go. So now we got a pretty cool sculpture we can work with. Let's dive into some more of the guided instruction for this unit. And the thing we still have to look at are our line types. So let's see. Let's maximize the window again, and let's look at some line conventions. Construction lines, we talked about those when we were making our 1-point perspective drawings, right? They're very lightly drawn. They're not a part of the object. You just guide drawing other lines and shapes. So they used it to kind of set up their curve right here. So you can actually do construction lines also in Autodesk. You can do construction lines here. If you start a sketch, obviously that would be something that you would sketch with. You can draw a line or you can draw a rectangle, whatever you want. And then you can turn it into a construction line a variety of ways. One is you can click on it and you can right click on it and you can choose to make it a construction line. The thing is you can select the line and you can hit the construction line button, right? So we can do that for all of them or 3 of them. The other thing you can do is toggle the construction button on, and then any line that you draw is going to be a construction line. If you turn it off, then we're back to regular lines, right? So you can see, the difference there. You have your lightly drawn kind of dotted construction line. Here you have your thick, dark object line. We've defined both of those in class, our construction line and object line. Finally, and then we have a variety of other ones we're going to get into as well. First things first, let's see. Let's scroll down this list a little bit and let's look at dimension lines. These are some of the most important ones. They tell you how long things are, and those are almost always paired with extension lines right here. So you can see an extension line and extension line. So if you want to dimension something, you're going to click on it there. That's 8.7 inches, and we'll click OK. Now you can see this has 2 parts. One is the extension line, and that is this line right here. So this one right here, even though they both light up, this one is the dimension line. That's the one that contains the number. Notice the number is written right in the center of it. It has arrows on the sides. The extension line is the one that shows you where the dimension starts and stops. So let's look at our PowerPoint again, our presentation here, Google Slides, I guess. The extension line shows where a dimension starts and stops. It's used with dimension lines almost exclusively. And the line is 1/16 of an inch away from a part to avoid confusion with object lines. So rather than thinking like, oh, is this part of the object right here? You can see this little gap right there that notes that, okay, this is where the extension line starts, showing me where my dimension line goes. All right, so that's dimension lines right there and extension lines right there. When we dimension a circle, we're going to use something called a leader line. Where is the leader line on here? Long break line, leader line. Okay, so when you dimension a circle, you use a leader line. Let's go ahead and get one of those on the screen. Let's draw us a circle, and then we'll dimension it right there. Perfect. And we'll click check. All right, so now this one's slightly different. It's got the dimension line kind of going in the circle right here, and then the leader line outside that leads you to where your dimension is. Okay, so let's go back. Let's kind of undo some of this stuff that we did on here. Kind of want to go back to just being the pure. You know what? Let's go back one more. Okay. Uh, Kind of like just the sculpture itself. And let's go ahead and save this thing. Go to File, Save. All right. And then I'm actually going to minimize this and I'm going to open up a different type of file. So we've used part files. We are going to use assembly files and I believe presentation files also. For now, we're going to open up a drawing file. So this is interesting. This is where you would kind of put your technical drawings, your blueprints, right? So you model an object in 3D and then you need to send it to your factory, your manufacturer, for them to make it. So you got to give them the blueprints for it. So you're going to use a drawing file. You're going to choose base view first to put the file in there. Now you usually it just opens up whatever file you had open last. So Sculpture 2.0, that was the last file I was working with. The computer realizes this. It also, that's another reason to use your project folder because it knows to look inside the project folder to find it. So anyways, there we go. We found it. Now there's a couple different options we can have. Let's move this thing around and let's consider getting some different views. Let's see, maybe that view will look good. And let's move it right to the middle here. Now, normally we're going to put it in the upper right-hand corner, but for right now, I think this is okay. You can change the style of it, now this one right here includes hidden lines. So let's turn that on and we are going to have a bunch of hidden lines up here. And if it's shaded or not, do we want it shaded? So if we want it shaded, we'll turn that on. If we don't want it shaded, we'll turn that off. I don't think I want that shaded for this one. Hidden line remove. We want to see our hidden line, so we're going to turn that on. And let's change the scale a little bit to make it a bit bigger. Let's make this like a 3:1. No, that's a little too big. We'll do like a 2.5:1, and then we'll pull it down just a little bit, and we'll click OK. All right, so there is our sculpture, and now this is extremely kind of confusing to look at. Probably because there is so many hidden lines. So what is a hidden line? Let me kind of explain that to you right here. So on the sculpture, you can see we have a pretty similar view here. Maybe we can adjust this slightly so it's even better. Is that a pretty, okay. Yeah, it's not exactly the same, but maybe if I flip it upside down, that will be better. Yeah, okay, that's looking pretty similar, right? Um, There are a lot of lines that you simply can't see because they're being blocked by something else, right? So if I'm looking right here, I can't, for instance, see the back. Oh no, I'm gonna get lost. I can't see the back of it, right? Because it's blocked by the front. How are we doing on batteries? Oh, 10 minutes. Uh-oh. Okay, no worries. We'll go back to our drawing. So the hidden line, if you zoom in, it's got this sort of long dashed line. That's a hidden line that shows you something you can't see from the front. Might be better to use a little bit simpler object from there, but I was excited about my sculpture. So there you go. You have a hidden line. Other lines you can look at too, which we're going to talk about, are long break lines. That wouldn't really make sense for this one. This is to shorten a very long object. So if you have like a long pipe or something, you can use a long break line you don't need to print 12 inches of pipe. That's all the same. You can just shorten it using a long break line. Uh, we'll do section line. That one's pretty interesting. What you're going to do is you're going to do a section view of a part. So you're going to use this section tool right here. And now it's been a while since I've done this, so we'll see how it goes. You click once to set where you want the line to start, once to stop it, and then you right click, so you use your middle finger, click on the right side of the keypad and you click continue, and then you can pull it away. And let's see if it will let me move this thing. Oh wow, that didn't work at all. Anyways, that's sort of the idea. I'm gonna let you guys kind of play with the section view and see if you can make it. Maybe that'll be our level 4 work right there. All right, so as you know, your assignment is to turn in Autodesk screenshots using the snipping tool that show all the different lines that we're learning about. Okay, so you got to create them and then screenshot them and then send them in. That's going to be part of your assignment. All right, I think I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully that was helpful to learn some new things about the different line types and to see them in action. Good luck to you and goodbye.